YouTube. All right, here we go. Let me, if I can, very quickly, very quickly, kind of resume here or start over. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, and ProCharge EV. Facebook has been here for 5 minutes. YouTube was not wanting to cooperate. It had to shut down the stream, restart it. So YouTube, you're just seeing this for the first time, but we've been here for 5 minutes already. So NFL schedule release day. We know who the Saints will play. Excited to see when and where they play them. Most notably, as we mentioned, not part of the international series as had initially been reported. But the Saints, we know, will have to play at Green Bay. When do they play at Green Bay? Is it going to be December? Is it going to be a cold weather game? Like, that obviously matters. See, trivia, I tell you, man, Facebook, this is what happened to Facebook, bro. These malfunctions. Happens to YouTube an awful lot, doesn't it? So we know the home opponents will play, of course, Falcons, Panthers, Bucks at home. Bears, Lions, Giants, Jags, Titans. And then the away opponents will be Falcons, Panthers, Bucks. Then you'll play at Green Bay, at Minnesota, at the Rams, Texans, Colts, and Patriots. So with the expansion of the schedule, you're adding one AFC team every year. So for the Saints this year, that would be New England. Of course, then you play the teams of the corresponding order of finish in the NFC outside of the division you play. So, for example, the Saints are in the NFC South. They're playing every team from the NFC North, right? Packers, Lions, Vikings, and Bears. So they'll play one team each from the NFC East and West of the corresponding order of finish, which is why they play the Rams and the Giants. And then the 17th game, the additional game, is an AFC team. That's New England. So that's how you know who they're playing. The only thing we'll find out today is in what order they play. Bubba Tatum, Lowell Cormier, good morning. Stephen Miller, good morning. Tyler Alexander, Kirk Taylor, Craig Duga. How Calandro is going to drop all them allocated yesterday without notifying Wednesday listeners first. Hey, man, I found out when y'all found out, too. So, yeah, Calandro's dropped some E.H. Taylor, some Eagle Rare, some Weller Special Reserve. And I literally, Greg found out on air when Taylor said it yesterday, and I was stuck in studio for 3 hours, so I had no heads up, and I got nada. Charlie Cavell, Dale Broussard, what's going on? Bubba Tatum, do it for trivia. Darren Reeves, I hope LSU pitching gets a lot better before tournament play. Talked a little bit about it yesterday. I think. Sure, I'm with you there, Darren. But I think there's a lot of good pieces, and pitching is an evolution. I've referenced a couple of times Trey Hodges back in 2000, who was very inconsistent that year. Went to Omaha and he became the College World Series most outstanding player. I'll remind you that after Paul Skeens, the two guys on your staff with the best ERA are Chase Shores and Garrett Edwards. You lost both of them for the year. So your two best arms out of the bullpen you lost for a year, and the guy that was supposed to be your number 2 starter, Grant Taylor, was lost for the year before he threw a pitch. So that's 3 more arms that you lost, right? So you didn't know what you were going to get out of Griffin Herring. He's developed nicely. Gavin Guidry wasn't even pitching in the fall. He's become a guy that you can count on. You seem to have found a role for Thatcher Hurd. He's had 4 consecutive strong outings now. So I think you're seeing guys develop. They're figuring out what roles they like them in, and they're gonna hit, man. So I got Paul Skeens at the front of my rotation. I got that LSU offense, enough arms behind him. Yeah, I like the Tigers. Stephen Miller, good morning. Sulphur bound, get a full day of elite high school baseball. Gonna catch you boys at 2 p.m. Calicut. Yeah, man. So Catholic plays today, and then Dunham is gonna play today as well. So Terrio, they were supposed to play yesterday in the semis, and I guess there was rain, bad weather. So they're playing today at 5, I believe. So yeah, man. Good luck to all the teams that are playing. Safe travels over there, Stephen, on the road today, man. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Bubba Tate cheer for the Berwick Panthers. Berwick's in it, huh? That's great. Samuel Smith, when the Saints have a 35-year-old Derek Carr, and the rest of the division is Young, Caleb Williams, and Ewers, people realize what you're talking about. Samuel, man, wouldn't that be an awful scenario? So for those who haven't been watching, like there are some mock drafts that are for next year, obviously very, very premature, that are projecting Caleb Williams to Tampa Bay. The Tampa will be near enough or will trade up for the first pick in the draft and take Caleb Williams. So if you have consecutive number one overall picks in your division with Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, that would suck. That would suck. And Jason, or Samuel, by the way, I would be totally fine with the Derek Carr move if I thought Derek Carr could win a Super Bowl, like what the Jets did with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has won one Super Bowl, and that was 13 years ago. But if you give him the right supporting cast and he still plays at an MVP level, can the Jets go to Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. I'm not sure. I bet that they will, but can they? Sure. Especially that division. Jason Horny, morning, Matt. Wait until you see the new purple dunks coming out. I know you wanted the Wolf Gray. I did want the Wolf Gray. I'm looking forward to the purple dunk. Is it purple lobsters? What we got, man? Pat Houston, hey, Dad, good morning. Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Purple and white SB dunks. Oh, I'm down with that for sure. Trivia Carter here so I don't get fined. Very nice. I fired back up YouTube. Trivia immediately says I'm out. Trivia Carter, what's up? There's Stephen Miller there on YouTube. Donovan Peterson, what's up? Samuel Smith, good morning. Let's see. With Blair on the call on ESPN Plus Tuesday, were the pitches on TV and where they said they were not the same. He had a strike. He said a strike almost hit the dirt. Samuel, honestly, I don't know that I was paying that close of attention. You know what has happened a couple times, and I think this is probably just a function of the difference in timing with TV and and radio. Sometimes you try to match the breaks with the sports radio network and TV, but they don't always match up. So there have been times where radio is coming back from break and they've already thrown a pitch. So that may be what you're saying. See, Sam, I could be wrong. I'm not certain about this, but it could be. So sometimes Chris will have to back call a pitch because radio wasn't back from the commercial break and the game had resumed. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Randall Offrecht, good morning. Let's see, do you think Dylan Cruz will get hot at the end of the season? Have you watched any Wake Forest baseball this year? I mean, Dylan Cruz has been hot all season. I mean, we're so spoiled that his average plummets to 463 or whatever it is, and we're like, what's going on with Dylan Cruz? I mean, he had a bad weekend against Auburn. That's literally the first bad weekend he's had all year. So, do I think he'll string together bad weekends? No, I do not. Especially this week with Mississippi State, who has a staff ERA of 10. I think Dylan Cruz will be just fine. Have you watched Wake Forest? I have watched Wake Forest this year, actually. They're a really good team. I don't think the ACC is great this year. So, in years past, the ACC has been an awesome league. It is not. There are... my apologies, one second. I think Wake is the one team that's pitching it throughout their staff pretty well. But again, I don't really see the ACC, your traditional ACC powers that have usually been very good. Obviously, Link Jarrett left Notre Dame for Florida State, trying to get them back on track. Clemson, North Carolina. Think about the programs that have traditionally been very good in the ACC. I mean, when you look at ranked teams from the ACC, I mean, Duke's 10th, Miami's 11th, Clemson 16th, Boston College 20th, Virginia 21st. You know what I mean? Like, you're not seeing, Louisville has been a CWS team. They're ranked. I thought Louisville was ranked. Are they? Maybe they were. Louisville lost in the midweek to Vanderbilt. What poll is this? This is D1. Anyway, long way of saying, I think Wake Forest is a very good team. I don't know. They've certainly not played the level of competition week in, week out that the SEC has. And and they also have a weird scheduling quirk because remember, Notre Dame plays baseball in the ACC. So they have an uneven number of teams. So it's weird how, like, on one weekend, they play like a non-conference weekend. They did that a couple of weeks ago. When LSU was playing Alabama, Wake was playing like a weird round robin with Wofford. And so, whatever. Brian Wynn, good morning. Samuel Smith, Packers Saints week 3 Packers schedule got leaked. Good. Rather play them early than late, especially before Jordan Love gets any degree of comfort, stability, competency. Bailey C., you've done a morning Scone every morning for 5 years. That's some consistency, man. Yeah, this is episode 1923. Is today the 5-year mark? I'm curious. Like, I don't know the day. No, we've got it past 5 years. It was like, I think in March. So we've passed it for sure. But, yeah, I think it was in March of 2018 when we started the first one. You could find it. It's in the first, we called it Breakfast Scone initially. And so the first ever episode is out there on YouTube. If you just search like Breakfast Scone, episode 0001, like, you'll find it. But yeah, we have not missed a day. 1,923 consecutive days. And I'm here because y'all keep coming back, so thank you. Please smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, please like the page, share the post. We appreciate that. Let's see. Mike the Tiger, 2023 Natty Champs. The Saints won't play the Patriots in Germany, hoping it would happen because it would be a true road game. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw the bit we did yesterday. There was a report last week that the Saints and Patriots were going to play in Germany, so I did this whole bit yesterday on AFR, like about how I'd already booked my trip to Germany and how it was going, and bought lederhosen and was looking up pubs and all sort of stuff. And then Muse broke the news to me that they weren't playing in Germany. Antron Hemingway, good morning. Go Tigers. Stephen Miller, Jess hosts the Bills, first Monday Night Football game of the year. The NFL is brilliant, right? The NFL is so brilliant at finding matchups, at placing interesting matchups in prime time, looking for when records are going to be broken most likely. Remember when Tom Brady was with Tampa and went back to New England? That, of course, was a Sunday night game. They're just brilliant at looking for those things to create drama around their TV product, which is why they're the best. They've created drama around a schedule release. That's why the NFL just continues to dominate the schedule. Man, you go from combine and all that sort of stuff to the NFL draft, now to a schedule release. You're going to have rookie mini camps. It just they're brilliant at it, man. They're brilliant at creating a interest in a 12-month calendar around their product. Let's see. Spurge, Irfan Sayad, good morning. Chance Babin, Saints finishing a 3-way tie last year for scheduling. What place do we finish out of the tiebreaker? Saints were 3rd in the division last year. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Ronnie Duke, why does the color analyst change on baseball? It's more of he said it's the same for other sports. It's kind of an availability thing. Like, honestly, for Tuesday nights, I know Doug Thompson most nights Tuesdays is coaching his son's baseball. And I know this because on Tuesdays when Drew plays Miracle League, I'll leave at AFR and go straight over to Traction for Miracle League. And I always see Doug on the field right there next to the Miracle League field, so we always chat up for a little bit. So he's coaching his son, and so I think that's when Buzzy fills in or Ronnie fills in or something like that. Cajun Country, good morning. No lie, I watched the Doug Thompson strikeout again. Yeah, very low and outside. Hey, and I've prodded Doug about that for years. We were talking last night on Scone and T. I will oversimplify it so as not to bore you with all the details. We're talking about college strike zones and how they expand. And that's how it's very common that they expand. And I pointed out the 1997 strikeout that Doug Thompson got to end the College World Series was most definitely not a strike, but was called a strike three looking. Cajun Country. I remember being down the middle and fooling the hitter. No, it didn't. It was low and outside and almost on the ground. Excuse me. Mike the Tiger, 2023 Natty Champ. Syracuse doesn't play baseball. Okay. Oh, ACC. Then there's someone else in there too because they like have an uneven number or something. Ray Langlois, how's your day? Going good. Thank you, Ray. Samuel, if the Saints don't win the division, would you have a rant to fire DA? I think they should have fired Dennis Allen last year. He should have been a one and done. He's, I don't think, ever going to win at a high level, but we'll see. You know, I hope they win the division. I want the Saints to win the division. I want them to win the division and go to the playoffs and win a championship and all that stuff. I don't know that I believe they will, but I want them to. Sean Carner, good morning. Very winnable schedule. A lot of tests coming together. Earl, good morning. What time does the schedule come out? They do it on, they televise it. Tonight it's when that Bills Jets game is going to be September 11th as well. What time is the schedule released? I mean, I would guess 7, but maybe it's 6. I don't know. All right. Y'all smash that like button on YouTube if you would. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Seven Central. All right. As always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Need a roof, give a shout at Hudco. Of course, you have pain, book a session with Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. And remember, ProChargeEV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, any more? Eric Hart, good morning. Was able to snag the barrel pick and barrel proof, Elijah Craig. Okay. Well, you see barrel proof. That's a good one, man. And the barrel pick from I don't know if you tried the Penelope. That Penelope barrel pick was really good, man. I enjoyed it. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Had to hop on Facebook since YouTube malfunctioned. YouTube is back, though. I've shut it down, restarted if y'all want to jump over to YouTube. I was going to grab enough to run to Craig to meet for a little barter. Brant Roban, good morning. Oh, I got to go. When I visited Baton Rouge for the baseball games, my friend's dad made his version of an old-fashioned. Instead of cherry juice and sweetener, it was a shot of bourbon, shot of red stag black cherry, shot of Jim Beam. Yeah, that's not an old-fashioned. That may have tasted just fine, but that is definitely not an old-fashioned. Bart St. Germain, good morning. Good feeling they will come out with the bats being hot Friday night. Yeah, you should have a good feeling, Bart. It's just Mississippi State's terrible. They're the worst pitching staff in the conference, and LSU's the best offense in the conference. So generally, when you have the best offense going against the worst defense, offense will probably do pretty well. So I'm right there with you, brother. Let's get some runs this weekend. Deborah Coward. Bubba Tatum, the ball Warren Morris hit was low outside and nearly on the ground too. The ball Morris hit was not low and outside, but it was low and inside. It was a beautiful curveball that Warren basically took off his shoe tops. Like that's the thing. Robbie Morrison did not hang a breaking ball. He threw a beautiful pitch. Warren just went down and got it and golfed it over the right field wall. Michael Cook, good morning. Okay, we are done. Thank y'all for watching. Have an awesome day. I got to get Drew ready, get him to school. We'll see you for AFR 3 Peace.